Oh. Birthday?
Birthday, Alex. Alec, good guy. Good guy. Health-wise, the two, no Taris, still working his way back, feeling better, but still not ready to go. And then, obviously, Braylon just, he's moving around better, but, yeah, I mean, those two guys are out. Silas has practiced pretty good and has had enough, well, he'll be able to, make his debut in the uniform tomorrow, so be excited. Lose one, add one. Be nice when they're all out there.
With Braylon out, I mean, obviously, this kind of, I guess, sort of opens the door for other guys to play a little more, more of a role. I mean, you're looking at, the obviously candidates would be Jalen, Jaden, but is it possible you could maybe play Malachi a little more alongside Silas, that kind of stuff too?
Yeah, I think we're going to use tomorrow night as like probably the last, the last quiz before the test. We're still evaluating and in the mode of people earning, coming out of, this exhibition game. I think we'll settle into, who's earned it. We'll use the game, the exhibition game as part of the things that we look at to see who's earned what, when we get the opener on Monday. So, or next Monday, excuse me. So, yeah, I mean, tomorrow night, I think we're going to try to play, people enough for them to, have an opportunity to, whether it's to earn a start on Monday or earn more minutes or a role, and all those players are, Jalen Stewart, Jaden Ross, Furphy, obviously Malachi got Alec, Silas is back. So, yeah, I mean, there's a number of players that, are vying to start or get minutes.
Can you talk about the value of how good an exhibition against a really quality opponent is?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be real beneficial, just having scheduled it the way we scheduled it, playing an ACC team and then playing, one of the, classiest programs you could play against, not just the way they run it, but just the physicality, how hard they play, the talented players, having one of the best coaches of all time, a Hall of Famer and coach. So it's just, if you could test your team against, one of the best programs, the last 30 years in college basketball. And, it's going to be very beneficial. They're going to expose some things. I'm obviously a little worried about the freshman center versus that front court, just and what that's going to look like. But great, it's going to be a great experience for Eric and the group.
Is Terrace tracking to be ready for the opener or not there yet?
He looks good. I mean, we've kind of been down this road with him. We got to this point, then we hit a setback again. So, yeah, I mean, we need him obviously healthy, for the long season, but also you need him healthy. You just don't want the hamstring to linger. But, yeah, I mean, he should be able to get him back on the court, soon.
In terms of guys trying to earn minutes, what has Furphy shown you?
Good offensive player, just good size, good, really, a guy that can make threes, a guy that can pass the ball. He's got to take better care of the ball. He's turned it over some. But yeah, I think the questions are about just can he guard well enough as a freshman with his experience level. Just guard well enough, that we can play him because we want to play him and take care of the ball, don't turn it over, and just guard well enough. I think Silas being back in there is going to help the defense. Obviously, Taris being back in there eventually is going to really help the defense.
Coach, how are you handling the adversity this early in the season with the injuries and so forth?
Pretty, we just look back to 24, I think, and we dealt with losing Donovan during the year. We dealt with losing Steph in a very similar kind of timeline to Braylon in a lot of ways. So, we dealt with it before, and it worked out good.
Do you try to script anything as far as lineup combos and trying to run certain offenses at certain times?
I would just try to make sure that you get enough players, enough minutes. and get players in early enough so that they have a chance to show you that they deserve to play. So I just think it's more about getting enough guys early minutes, especially with Braylon out. Like, who's going to start, and then who deserves real bench minutes.
Braylon it landed awkwardly, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, the guy's got some of that, like Indiana, Midwest, I don't know, it's like the air or the dairy or whatever. Because he was fortunate, we were fortunate. We were very nervous that it could have been, far worse for him. So, we count our blessings and we thank God. We thank God that he and we, that the injury is what it is.
It's like a high ankle thing, like
No.
different than
Yeah.
Liam last year.
Different than Liam. But still, it's like he's a tough kid, and according to his dad, he's a fast healer.
Just that little off the beat path, but do you go into this, do you scout Michigan State as if it was like a regular season game, or is this tomorrow really more about you?
Yeah, I don't think there's much of that type of mentality preparation-wise. I think you do a little bit. We did a little bit with BC because you are trying to get your players to be able to absorb more information the way you're going to have to with New Haven and in the regular season games. But I think you're still anytime you go out there, you want to try to win. You're coaching. You're coaching your guys hard because you want to win the next possession. You want to win the exhibition. But I think that your mindset right now is like learn as much as you can about your team and just try to figure out like what your rotation is going to look like, and just hope that you could try to learn about some vulnerabilities and weaknesses that get exposed when you play Michigan State.
You guys recruited Carr pretty heavily, right? Or Cohen Carr?
Yeah, I mean, I with Kohler and Carr, they're I think they're fears. I mean, veteran team. Or at least veteran players that, watching them last year, I mean, they if they made some shots in that, was that Elite Eight game? Was that the Elite Eight or was that the Sweet 16?
I think it was 16.
It was the Super. I mean, they rebound so well, and I mean, if they made any shots, reasonable amount of open shots last year, they would have been in the Elite Eight or in the Final Four. I know that Auburn game, I mean, they had so many good opportunities. They're the offensive rebounding, their transition offense, the physicality, like a lot of the stuff that we've got to answer questions about. Our team toughness is why it was this is a great scrimmage for us, or exhibition, sorry.
What have Jalen and Jaden shown you in terms of progress?
I think this is what we're, I think we see the flies on you now. We've been trying to get this fly. Paul, the fly is now in here. We've been trying to get this fly in this building. I don't think it was from the renovations. Place looks good, though. Did a nice job. They cleaned up it looks so much nicer in the arena. I think people are going to really enjoy it that haven't been in here. Right, Paul?
Yes, very much.
Yeah. What was the question?
Jalen and Jaden
Well,
progress.
I think we want to see game night. I'm not going to do as much of the prognosticating, all right, with a lot of the players. I think anymore. I think as juniors, we want to see these guys just go out and be assertive. I want to see assertive men out there, just men that are assertive with their actions and the way they carry themselves, and assertive like UConn men should be assertive.
Do the renovations mean anything to the team? I mean, is there just a different mindset coming in, or?
How about the locker room? Is there
Well, I mean, I don't
value to
know
that?
what I mean, it's a better space. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's like Rocky III. When he moved into the nice house, it turned to shit. So, and then he went to, I guess that was Detroit. When he started training with Apollo.
Oh,
You know, he got knocked out by Clubber Lang because,
he
you know,
went
he
on
was
the
like
beach
living
in LA.
large. He was in the big
Yeah, yeah,
house
yeah.
and he got soft and weak.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
that
he
was
went
Los
out to
Angeles.
LA, yeah.
He went out to LA
Yeah,
and then he got grimy and he got back to his roots and then, yeah. So I try not to think about it.
Aside from the win, are there other metrics or other things that you want to see at the end of this game tomorrow?
Yeah, I think you're mostly looking for like individual players to to do certain things. You know, like you're looking for certain guys to step up. You're looking for even beyond the like analytics or the result. You're looking for some physicality. You're looking to see what some combinations of players are going to look like, and then you're making final decisions on like the game one, like who's going to. Granted, Taras is back, and now you like who's going to be in that 8 or 9 guys that's actually going to play. Even with Braylon out, it's still competitive to get on the court.
Do your players still feel that it's a big deal to actually start, or are they more concerned with finishing under you?
I think most guys. I think they. I think most players. Want to start. But for us, for a player like UConn, if you play like starter minutes, if you're the 6th starter or you're, in the rotation at UConn, that's, it's a pretty big deal.
Dan, I'm sorry if you've commented on this elsewhere, but this thing with Louisville getting a player from the G League,
Yeah.
do you see yourself going into that market, that becoming a thing for you, or is it something where maybe you want to draw the line somewhere and saying this is
Yeah.
not where we're going to go,
Yeah.
where other teams are?
I mean, the Trolls came after me obviously, I love what Coach Izzo said. I love what, Coach Painter said relative to the issues that involve college basketball. They know a lot more about this subject matter than I do. They've been coaching college for a long time. I spent a majority of my career as a high school coach, right? So at least before I became a head coach, I loved what they both said. It was not a criticism of Louisville, too. I mean, we all want to win. We have a sense of responsibility to our university and our fan base and everyone involved with, whether it's Louisville or UConn, to put the absolute best team you could put on the court relative to what the rules can say you can do. The problem with our sport is that we're not very aware of what the rules are. In certain instances like that. I don't think you can make the connection between, international players and the high school player, a high school player that chose to forego college as an option and go to the G League, and then circling back to it when you passed on that option in high school is different than just an international college player. There is no college basketball in Europe or in South America. There's not a version of this for them to aspire to play at. So for them, they're in a system where, as young players, you join these pro club teams, and it's not really. So that's not comparing them to foreign players that are now. If there's a foreign player that goes to the G League and then tries to come play college basketball, obviously, that would make it an apples to apples comparison. But to compare foreign players to G League players, I think is not the same thing. So I just think, what are the rules? I think a lot of us had no idea that was even a possibility. You never say never, because we do have a responsibility to the university and to a lot of people to put. And with the climate of coaching now in college sports, the way they're getting coaches, where it's become more like professional sports, the way coaches are being let go in season now with owed a lot of money in a lot of years. So that's a whole other thing now.
Right. Yeah, but because doesn't this mean now that if somebody goes into the draft and doesn't get the money he's looking for, that he can then come back, right? Because if he ends up in the G League and says, I'm going to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll let Coach Izzo know,
Yeah.
that that, I don't know, like, this hawk, you know, I don't, it does, I just, it's a great sport, you know, it's, you know, college basketball's awesome. We just, I think, my biggest concern is like, the product in college, it's the front of the jersey, it's March Madness, and it's having the fans in college basketball. Like, that's the product. Like, that's what really matters. March Madness is what drives college basketball. It's the front of the jersey, the way the fans love the team in college. You know, there's a lot of NBA fans that love an individual player and become enamored with an individual player. The fans love the front of the jersey in college. They almost forget who was on the team 2, 3. They're so engrossed in their team. They just love their team. The characters change, but they love their team. I just don't want to do anything that's going to, we're going to start losing our fans. Our fans are going to start feeling like the jersey doesn't matter, the front of the jersey doesn't matter. You know, so.
Some would say the coaches too,
Yeah.
part of what the fans like the most about the programs, you know, because
Yeah.
there's
Well,
continuity there, more so.
well, the only people that like me are UConn fans. So, and I'm glad to have it that way. You wish more people liked you, but the important people like me.
Thanks, guys.
Thank